haven't quite yet gone out of fashion in the US yet.
Family-run company in Oxfordshire. It was really small originally, just selling terracotta.
And sometimes people walk in thinking they want something, and then they completely change that.
More often than not.
It left you guys earlier than it did us.
I think it just needs a refresh. I think it needs to find a new way to use glass tiles.
Instead of just backsplash. Hello everyone and welcome to Design Discussions with Nadine. I am Nadine and I am here in London, and I'm here today at Fired Earth with Clara, and she's going to talk to us about Fired Earth and what an amazing company they are. I found them a few years ago when I was circulating around London looking for great vendors to possibly work with. They so graciously allowed me into this showroom before it was even finished. They were almost finishing it up, so I'm so happy to be back here today to look at all of the new products that they have and see these lovely people once again. So thank you, Clara, for jumping on with me and talking about the lovely tiles that you have. So let's give everybody a little bit of information about Fired Earth as a company. And what is important to you guys. I know artisan is number one. So let's talk about the company.
Of course. So Fired Earth started from really humble beginnings, I think they like to say. Family-run company in Oxfordshire. It was really small originally, just selling terracotta tiles. And they've expanded to sell more and more artisanal products from actually across the globe now, but all really skilled and manufacturers who care about what they're selling and the kind of products that they're producing to make sure everything's well designed and looked after.
Lots of thought that goes into it, into the design, the quality. And I had heard of you guys prior to meeting you guys a few years ago, but didn't really know that much about you.
Sure.
So now I'm happy that I've learned more and have seen some of the amazing work that some of the designers here that you guys do. What would you say is the most frequently asked question when a client comes into your showroom? I'm sure they have lots of questions.
Lots and lots of questions.
Yeah. What would be your top 2 frequently asked questions that clients would ask you?
Well, lots of them are technical questions. Where can I use this and how can I use this? And is this possible?
Oh, like where they can put it?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they want to do things that possibly are impossible, but we try to make them as possible as we can. Apart from that, it's mostly just helping customers figure out what exactly it is they want. I think it's very easy to have an idea, but actually creating that and making it a reality is so difficult. So we try and spend as much time as we can, like working personally and we create a whole mess, tiles all over the shop, trying to figure out what they love, what they don't love, and how we can bring different ideas together to create something unique.
And sometimes people walk in thinking they want something, and then they completely change that.
More often than not.
You know, being a builder and a contractor, I see that every day. Clients will come and they'll say, oh, I want this or I want that. And then once they kind of see it together, they're like, no, I don't want this. I want that.
Yeah, for sure.
And with tiles, there's so many options out there for people. I'm sure it's hard for them to narrow it down sometimes.
It really is. I think also you can have an idea in your head, but you don't know what's through until you start putting things next to each other and think, actually, that doesn't work at all. And then the whole scheme changes, and it's really fun.
For you guys here in the UK, what do you see? Because of course, us being in the US, the trends might be a little bit different. That's why I started traveling to, London and places in Europe to see what the trends were coming up. What have you seen that are the latest trends as far as tile in the last, 6 months or so?
Most recently, there's so much checkerboard everywhere, which I love. Also striping, using multiple colors together to create new effects. I think everybody wants to be quite unique in a way they didn't want necessarily to be before. They wanted to blend in a bit more, whereas everybody wants something different at the moment. So a lot of that, a lot of color and a lot of pattern. Yellows and reds. And
we went through a long phase of just basic colors, very no color.
Yeah.
So now that I see people coming back with the color, it's very exciting, especially in tile, because look at back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, some of the tiles that people used in their bathrooms were, yellow and pink and blue. Seeing those things come back is so exciting
It
to add a
is.
pop of color.
Makes our jobs more exciting.
Yes,
Anyway.
exactly. So this one is interesting. And I see that you can probably put this with another one, right? To make different colors and patterns, which you said one of these was one of your favorites. You like this one,
This
right?
collection in general is one of my favorites just because of how versatile it is. You can mix and match them to create whatever you'd like, really. Like, there's a range of different types of marble, and then you mix them together to create checkerboards or different patterns, whatever
Lovely.
you'd like. You can go this way around to create large shapes, and I love how much you can mix and match and make it your own. And it looks so timeless.
I love this one. And the color is beautiful too. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and we work with a lot of different shapes to try and create visual interest without changing necessarily the color or the texture, but you can use the same, like marble specifically, we'll have a lot of different mosaics to go alongside larger formats, just to create an interesting space without changing too many details.
So you guys have marbles, of course, terracotta.
Yeah.
What about porcelains and ceramics?
A lot of porcelain and
Yeah,
ceramics.
so you
Most
carry
of what you
everything.
see here is porcelain and ceramic. A few glass tiles, but they've gone out of fashion a little bit recently. But some of them still look cute.
Yeah, I think that they haven't quite yet gone out of fashion in the U.S. yet. The glass ones, but it's phasing out. I think.
Yeah.
I think it probably left you guys earlier than it did us, but
I think it just needs a refresh. I think you need to find a new way to use glass tiles
instead of just backsplash, which people got tired of that. Oh, amazing. Well, I absolutely love the company. I think you guys do beautiful work here. So thank you so much for showing me and talking with me a little bit about what you guys have. And stay tuned for the next episode.